In Terrifier, we see the return of Art the Clown, only this time there's no demons or aliens. Just the supernatural killer clown terrorizing people on Halloween night. The start of this film is really off-putting and feels pretty disconnected from the rest of the movie. We see a returning cast member from All Hallows Eve, the woman who played the babysitter. Here she's playing a journalist interviewing a woman who is the only survivor of the Miles County Massacre. Her face was disfigured as a result, and she talks a bit about what it's like to live this new life, and asks the validity of Art the Clown's death, and mentions rumors suggesting that his body disappeared following the murders. The faceless woman claims that she saw him die, though. The interview ends when the woman goes into this manic state. We follow the reporter backstage and hear a phone call where she says some truly detestable stuff about the faceless woman. But not to worry, because the woman heard everything she had to say and attacks the journalist, also disfiguring her. We then cut to Halloween night. We see two women, Tara and Dawn. The two are about to engage in some intoxicated driving. Luckily, Tara, the more sensible of the two, decides to go and grab something to eat to help sober up. Before they leave, they notice Art the Clown just staring at them. He gives Tara the creeps, but Dawn, being the worst friend ever, decides to rile him up by declaring that Tara wants his number. The clown disappears when they're not looking, so they decide to go to a pizza place. It's here when the clown shows up again. He sits at the booth diagonal from the girls and stares Tara down something fierce. Of course, Dawn doesn't take the situation or her friend's feelings seriously at all and decides to go and provoke Art by taking pictures of him after fucking around with his hat. Eventually, Art the Clown goes over to a toy dispenser and gets a ring out that he presents to Tara before going off to the bathroom. The manager kicks him out, claiming that he is a sick man. Tara and Dawn then head back to the car where they find out one of their tires has been destroyed and they have no spare. So Tara calls her sister, Victoria, who agrees to come pick them up. Back at the pizzeria, we see one of the workers cleaning shit that was smeared all across the bathroom. After finishing up, he finds that Art has killed his boss and then murders him as well. Meanwhile, Tara needs to use the bathroom and asks to be let into this empty apartment complex where an exterminator just so happened to be taking a smoke break. He lets her in and Dawn hears about the pizzeria murder on the radio before Art steps into the vehicle. Tara, after using the bathroom, comes across Art the Clown and tries to hide from him. He does a number stabbing her in the leg quite a few times and eventually is able to catch and sedate her. When she awakes, she is tied to a chair. Dawn is sawed in half right in front of her. During this, Tara breaks free and is able to run for a little while and keep up with Art the Clown. But right as she has him, he pulls out a gun and shoots her. A couple times. Once in the face before running out of ammo, and she's still alive. So he goes and grabs another clip of the gun, finishing the job. I have to say, I think the film is pretty downhill from here. Pretty much all of the acting in this film is really bad aside from Art and Tara. I think Jenna Canal? I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm sorry. Does a pretty good job at feeling genuine for the most part, despite the material she's given to work with. There's a couple select moments where I think her performance falls flat, but for the most part, I think it's pretty decent. Once she's gone from the movie, though, we're left with her sister, who is nowhere near as fun or interesting. She shows up and basically just runs around for half the movie, and then at the very end, right as the police arrive, Art runs her over with a truck and eats her face. When the cops actually show up, Art shoots himself in the mouth and is assumed dead. Cops also realize Victoria is still alive. It should be pretty clear to anyone who paid attention in the beginning what happens from here. Victoria turns out to be the faceless from the beginning, and we get to see Art awaken at the morgue. When compared to All Hallows Eve, I think this film is a drastic improvement. The script is less forced than it was in that movie, and scenes don't always end so abruptly. There's even some shots and scenes I like sprinkled throughout the movie. Art's makeup is better, and for the first half, I thought it had a decent lead before pissing it all away in the second half. I'm not opposed to killing off leads in horror movies if the replacement character we get is equally as developed and interesting, but this one just missed the mark in that department. I wish the beginning and end chunk, including Victoria, weren't there. I really don't think it adds anything substantial to the film, but kind of just gets it started on the wrong foot and reminds you about it at the end. All in all, I think I'd give Terrifier a 3 out of 10, but who knows, maybe Terrifier 2 will improve more. Here's hoping.